This year, we mark a historic milestone, 50 years of the United Nations University. For half a century, university leaders, staff, students, and alumni have driven peace and progress by bridging the worlds of education, research, and policy, by acting as a trusted source for evidence-based policymaking, and by uniting the world through knowledge partnerships and address our most pressing global challenges. The United Nations University is truly multilateralism in action. Now is the time to look ahead at the next 50 years and to build a future of prosperity and equality for all humanity. I look forward to UNU's continued success and commitment in this essential work.
Your Majesties, Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends. It is a profound honor for the United Nations University to welcome Their Majesties, the Emperor and the Empress of Japan, to our headquarters on this historic occasion. Your Majesty's presence today lends great significance to our 50th anniversary and reflects the depth of Japan's enduring commitment to international peace, knowledge, and sustainable development. The vision of the United Nations University was first proposed in 1969 by Secretary-General U Tant with the generous support of the government of Japan. This vision became a reality in 1975 when UNU opened its doors here in Tokyo. Over the past decades, UNU has grown into a global network of 13 institutes across 12 countries dedicated to advancing solutions to the pressing challenges of humanity. From our early beginnings with a single program on food and nutrition, we now contribute research and training across all 17 Sustainable Development Goals. In recent years, UNU has also conferred postgraduate degrees to students from more than 100 countries with a strong commitment to equity and inclusion. A majority of our graduates today are women, and over half are from developing nations. None of this would have been possible without the steadfast support of the government and the people of Japan. As our host nation, Japan has provided not only the foundations of our institution, but has become part of our identity. Japan also stands as an inspiring example of how knowledge and innovation, when paired with a commitment to international peace and multilateralism, can serve the global good. In my endeavor to visit every prefecture of Japan, I have seen that these values are not only reflected in Japan's leadership, but are deeply embedded in the character of its people. On this anniversary, we express our profound gratitude to Japan and to our dedicated UNU community, colleagues, and partners worldwide who have brought us this far. May the next 50 years further strengthen these bonds as we work together for peace, dignity, and sustainability for all. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Rector Marwala, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to have this opportunity to join you today, together with the Empress, for the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the United Nations University. Since its establishment here in Shibuya, Tokyo, in September 1975, the United Nations University has served for half a century as a beacon of knowledge, innovation, and collaboration in the service of humanity and has grown today into a network of 13 research and training institutes located in 12 countries across the world. This global network has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the advancement of knowledge, education, and training on the issues that matter most for achieving sustainable development. For topics ranging from health, economic inequality, and peace to climate change, water, and biodiversity, the UNU has been endeavoring to address effectively development challenges with a focus on finding comprehensive and evidence-based solutions. I would like to express my profound respect to the hard-working researchers and staff of the UNU who are helping to bring the world one step closer to solving the greatest challenges of our times. As part of its mission to contribute research and education to solving the world's most pressing global problems, it has come to my understanding that the UNU has been playing an essential role as a bridge of knowledge between communities, academic institutions, and the UN system and its member states. As we celebrate this important 50-year milestone, it is my sincere wish that the rector, researchers, staff, and all those associated with the university will continue to generate knowledge necessary for transforming the world to help to ensure a secure, equitable, and sustainable future for all humankind. Thank you.
It is my great honor to extend my warmest congratulations on the 50th anniversary of the United Nations University, UNU, celebrated today in the presence of their Majesties, the Emperor and Empress of Japan. UNU, as a think tank for the overall UN system, has made invaluable contributions to research and human resource development toward solving challenges facing the international community. For half a century, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan has actively supported UNU, the only UN organization headquartered in Japan. As we face growing divisions and confrontations in the world, together with global challenges that become increasingly severe, UNU plays a more critical role than ever. We are determined to contribute to the peace and prosperity of the international community by collaborating with UNU. I am delighted to see that under the steadfast leadership of Rector Marwala, cooperation is being pursued across a wide range of fields in recent years. This includes collaboration at the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD, and Expo 2025 Osaka, Kansai, Japan, as well as in the area of women, Peace and Security, WPS. We will continue to work with UNU to guide the international community from division and confrontation toward cooperation and reconciliation. In closing, I would like to express my profound respect to all those who have dedicated their effort to UNU over the past 50 years. I would also like to offer my sincere wishes for the continued success and prosperity of each of you and UNU. Thank you.
It is a great honor to address this memorial ceremony in the presence of their Majesty, the Emperor and Empress of Japan. I would like to congratulate the United Nations University, UNU, on its 50th anniversary. UNU has supported the growth of young professionals through the training programs since its early years. It has also contributed through its postgraduate degree program at the UNU Institute for the Advanced Study of Sustainability, UNU IAS, since 2010. I'm pleased to see that many UNU alumni are now working to build a sustainable society in the global and national institutions. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Rector Marwala and everyone involved in their dedicated effort over the years. Next, will contribute to be a strong partner of the UNU and the UNU IAS and will support their activities. Finally, I would like to conclude by expressing my sincere wishes for the continued growth of success of UNU over next 50 years. Thank you very much.
It is a great honor to speak at the United Nations University's 50th anniversary commemorative ceremony today in the gracious presence of their Majesties, the Emperor and the Empress. I extend my sincerest congratulations to UNU and express my deep respect to Rector Marwala and all those who have contributed to the development of the university. Since the founding in Tokyo in 1975, as a think tank for the United Nations, UNU has provided excellent policy recommendations based on academic evidence for global challenges such as human development and welfare. The Ministry of the Environment has strengthened its collaboration with UNU through initiatives such as ESD program, SDG promotion projects, and the International Partnership for the Satoyama Initiative. With only 5 years remaining to achieve the SDGs, our planet continues to face complex environmental crises, including climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. Addressing these crises demands stronger global unity and science-based solutions. I strongly expect UNU to play a central role. The Ministry of the Environment will also promote synergies among initiatives addressing these challenges, striving to pass on sustainable world to the future generations. In closing, I would like to offer my congratulations and best wishes for the continued advancement of UNU. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yuriko Koike, Governor of Tokyo. It's a profound honor and privilege to be invited here today. Please accept my heartfelt congratulations on the occasion of the 50th anniversary ceremony of the United Nations University, graced by the presence of their Majesties, the Emperor and Empress of Japan. I would also like to express my deepest respect and admiration for Professor Marwala and everyone for their unwavering commitment to the growth and development of the United Nations University. During my visit to New York in July, I met with Secretary-General Guterres, and we discussed issues brought on by climate change and the initiatives taken by Tokyo. I was also able to inform him that in addition to actions taken among nations, it is important for cities, which are at the front lines of these challenges, to work together. Tokyo hopes to continue deepening cooperation with the United Nations and the other institutions and cities, both within and outside Japan, to help realize a sustainable world. In closing, I would like to extend my heartfelt wishes for the continued prosperity of the United Nations University and for the ongoing success of everyone associated with the university and all of you present here today. Thank you very much. おめでとうございます.
Your Majesties, Excellencies, distinguished guests and colleagues, good afternoon and thank you again for joining us on this very special occasion. As we continue to celebrate our 50th anniversary, it is indeed a privilege to welcome you to a special edition of the United Nations University Conversation Series. Here at UNU, we regularly host influential experts, world leaders, and respected scholars and authors in this conversation series, a public forum for dialogue and exchange on issues that matters the most to humanity. Our audience is not usually quite as auspicious as it is today, but in keeping with the tradition, this session will follow the same format. As we mark half a century of UNU's contributions to knowledge and policy, it is fitting that we welcome someone who has played an important role in shaping the history of UNU, Professor Taikan Oki. Professor Oki is a leading hydrologist and a globally recognized authority on the human impact on water, climate, and biosphere. His pioneering work has earned him international distinction, including the 2024 Stockholm Water Prize. Beyond academia, he served the United Nations as Senior Vice-Rector of UNU and Assistant Secretary-General between 2016 and 2021, leaving a lasting mark on the institution and our mission. Professor Oki, welcome back to UNU.
Thank you.
Our conversation today will explore the intersection of water and digital transformation, with a particular focus on the role of water in generating electricity and powering modern technologies such as artificial intelligence. Even in our increasingly digital era, water remains humanity's most essential resource. As Leonardo da Vinci once observed, and I quote, "Water is the driving force of all nature. It sustains life, underpins our economies, and as we see today, even fuels our technological future." Here at UNU, water has long been central to our work. Across our institutes, including here in Tokyo, we engage with water-related challenges at the nexus of environment, development, and human well-being. Our institute in Canada specializes in this field, focusing on water, environment, and health. And as UNU continues to expand its reach, UNU Inwe has launched new hubs in collaboration with universities in United States, South Africa, Sweden, Germany, Canada, extending this vital work around the world. Professor Oki,
Yes.
I'd like to begin with semiconductors,
Okay.
which are at the core of digital transformation and particularly of AI. Water is essential to semiconductor production. For every liter of water used in processing, about 1.5 liters of municipal water are needed, with roughly a third of the input lost in this transformation. What possibilities do you see for reducing water use in this process?
Thank you very much, Rector Marwala. May I call you Tshilidzi?
Yes.
Okay. It has passed already 4 years since I left UNU, but I'm very glad to be back here. And about that semiconductor issue and water, so that some of you may be aware that the very famous leading ICT fabrication company, TSMC, is now there. They have a plan to develop a factory in Kumamoto. And 2023, they disclosed their plan to use that the 12,000 cubic meter of water a day. And people in the Kumamoto were very much concerned because that 12,000 cubic meter per day of the water is taken from groundwater. But as you may know or you may not know, that Kumamoto city, that within the city, all the municipal water, that piped water is from the groundwater. So that the citizens, people are very much concerned. Oh, if the TSMC, you say that 12,000 cubic meter of water, what happened to our daily water use? Then there was a discussion with that the Kumamoto city and maybe the prefecture as well, with the TSMC, and the TMC announced they will cut 30% of their plan to make it 8.5 thousand cubic meter per day of the water use. And that can be done in a factory if you invest more to closed usage of the ultra pure water. So before that, the fabrication of ICTs, you need very, very pure water to wash that the plate. So they need a lot of water, but it can be recycled within the factory, but it needs a cost. So therefore, there is a balance in between. But under the communication and the negotiation with the people in a local city and a company, so they reduce their plan. But still, if we use more AIs, that your specialty, right, Tshilidzi? AI and data center, it will require more water in addition to the electricity. Yes.
In many parts of the world, coal is still the main source
Oh, yeah.
for generating electricity. This has serious consequences for the environment. How can water play a role in accelerating the transition away from coal-based energy systems?
Okay. So here is another issue about that the coal thermal power plant requires a lot of water. So that I surveyed that in the US survey said that the megawatt hour of the electricity for the coal thermal power plant requires 72.6 cubic meter of water. But if that is done by that the natural gas combustion cogeneration cycle, that is only 10.6. So 1/7 for that the natural gas. But if you use the coal thermal power plant, even 7 times more water is needed. Therefore, that not only that carbon dioxide, but the coal thermal power plants are inefficient in terms of the water consumption. Then what can we do to reduce? As Tshilidzi, you said that how we can give an incentive to reduce that coal thermal power plants, that is similar to that the carbon issue. If we give that the carbon pricing, then people like to shift from that coal thermal power plant to that more renewable ones. So similarly, that we can do that water pricing, especially for the scarcity pricing, or that the like cap and trade of water usage, like that. Then we can give some incentive for that industry to shift from that the coal thermal power plant to that renewable energies. And actually that renewables like that wind or the PVs, they need negligible amount of water consumption when the electricities are generated. Thank you.
As you have already indicated, recent technological advancements have greatly improved our ability to monitor the global water cycle.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Could you explain how these innovations are helping policymakers and communities make more efficient decisions about water allocation?
Yes. So the first two questions to me was about that the rather the negative part of that the digital transformation on water. But positive side you're asking me now, that the earth monitoring, that the for example 50 years ago when the UNU was established 1975, there was no meteorological satellite on that geostationary orbit. So that means we never know. Okay, maybe that is too much exaggerated. There were some polar orbit satellites which observed the typhoons or the hurricanes, but no geostationary satellite which observed 24 hours a day of the area. Therefore, it was very hard to track where the typhoon is. So therefore, that there were some very serious damages due to the typhoons. But now we have remote sensing satellite, and it observed worldwide. And due to that, the communication technologies and multilateral exchange of that observed data from satellites, we can now know that global precipitation distribution in real time. So we know that, okay, you're from South Africa originally. We know that how much rain, which part of South Africa now. And that kind of production can be developed now. And further, my major is the river and hydrology, water cycle. And sometimes river discharge are very much confidential in each nation. I'm very sorry to see that in the world now, there are some conflicts and people are fighting each other. And for that, the river discharge is a very, very important strategic variable, because that the people would like to know, okay, this river can be crossed with the tank or not, for example. So that the river discharge data was sometimes confidential in the past, but now the new technology, which observed that the the elevation of the river surface, ultimately that how high the river water surface is. For using that information with that the mass conservation equations of physics, we can now estimate that the river discharge from the satellite remote sensing. So no country can make the river discharge confidential. So of course that still is that this kind of technology is developing, but I think it's good thing that the no secret about the natural water cycle. So people like to, because that in the past sometimes, okay, some nations are criticized. You are storing water, and we do not have enough water in the downstream nation says, and there were conflicts. But now, if we can observe that the discharge, and among them there is a reservoir, if there is no change, the upper stream country can say, no, that's not our fault. That the variability of nature or that the withdrawal during downward make that the discharge decline. So in that way, I think that such observation technology, due to that the AI and the sensor technology, making that the water, transboundary water is much easier to be solved. Thank you.
What are the emerging opportunities for decentralized small-scale water supply systems compared to traditional centralized infrastructure? And what additional innovations could help reduce costs and improve accessibility?
Yes. So now the question is, from that the hydrological cycle to the more water to that the remote area in particular, that the how to accomplish the SDG goal 6.1 or 6.2, the serenity, and decentralized water supply system is the different thing like that what we see in Tokyo. In Tokyo, we have a very much large scale system to supply water, so that the water is sometimes coming from the Tone River basin, Tone River, and or the Tama River to that the central Tokyo, and purified and distributed for that the millions of the households. However, decentralized system consists with that maybe that energy source from the PV, and using that the purification system, using that the reverse osmosis technology, and with that the purification with that the could be that charcoal or that UV system to kill that the germs, and it can supply the pure water for the small scale community, like 10 households or less. And cost was very expensive compared to large system in the past. But now that the price of the energy supply, PVs, and also that the purification system has been declining, so it's now feasible. And so that in the coming years, the Japanese population is decreasing. So that some regions we have very few households. Maybe it's very practical solution to implement this kind of decentralized small-scale water supplying systems. So we need a balance in between the large scale for the populated region and small-scale ones for that the small communities. And also good thing is that kind of technology can be exported to that the foreign nations where that the not connect to the grids of the electricity, not connect to that large scale water supply system, but they need water. I think that it can help to achieve the SDG 6.1 in particular. Yes.
UN Water plays a central role in coordinating efforts to ensure the sustainability of global water resources. Looking ahead to the 2026 UN Water Conference, which will focus on 6 themes. First, water for people. Second, prosperity. Third, planet. Fourth, cooperation. 5, multilateral processes. And 6, investments. How do you see UN Water advancing these priorities in the years to come, given the dynamic situation around multilateralism?
Yes. So that now the topic is about that the 2026 UN Water Conference. So that you may remember that the 2 years ago, 2023, there were that another UN conference, but a water conference, but the first one was in 1976. So yeah, 46 years ago. So that the second one was very informative. But now that we are planning, we mean the UN system and all the stakeholders are planning to have the UN Water Conference in 2026 in UAE with co-hosted by the Senegal. And I think that the major topic is that Tracy you introduced, that people or the prosperity, planet, cooperation, multilateral processes, and investments. And all of them are important. and in particular that it's just actually that it will be in December 2026. So that's only 3 years before that SDGs target year. It will discuss on that the SDGs and beyond. And for that, of course, that all of these 6 themes are very important. But if you ask me to pick up one, maybe investment could be an issue. So that for example, yesterday I was asked to give a talk for the Nikkei SDGs forum, and all the people are discussing about how Japanese companies can contribute to promote SDGs. However, most of them concentrate on that how these companies will reduce the energy consumption or reduce that impact on the ecosystems. I think that's okay, but heart of the SDGs are to reduce the poverty in the world, not only Japan, and how to make more universal access to the education, water, energy, food, shields all over the world. So do not stick to within Japan. Do not make your behavior in Japan better. That's okay, but in addition to that, we need to improve the world situation, how we can eradicate the poverty with that living with a very tiny dollars a day of their income. So I think that the UN Water Conference also concentrate on that issue, the poverty reduction, and how to support that the development in the least development countries, least developing regions. Yeah.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of UNESCO's International Hydrological Program, which fosters international collaboration in water research, management, education, and development. And Japan has played a very important role. How do you see Japan continuing to play such a role going forward?
Yeah, thank you very much. So that another topic today is about that like UNU, that under the UN system, that the UNESCO is in charge of water, and that international hydrological program, now it's called Intergovernmental Hydrological Panel, was established in the same years, 1975. And it has been promoting that water science and bridge to the policy making. And that IHP has been promoting that multilateral collaboration of that investigating that availability of water resources and how we can develop more to the people. And also that in the case of Japan, I think that maybe that most contributed activity from Japan is the regional committee of IHP in Asian Pacific region. And that's also very active. And not me, but my senior professors, whenever they go to that Asian Pacific countries, they have that network of IHP, Asian Pacific region committee, so that everywhere we can communicate and exchange our knowledge and experiences each other. I think that kind of route, the grassroots communication and exchange helps to make that water supply and management better. So that can be the good point from Japan to the IHP.
I really had many questions for you,
Yes.
but I don't have, the time is running out, so I just have one last one.
Yeah.
We are 50 years old as United Nations University. What is your advice in the next 50 years?
Oh, advice. Oh, that too much for me. And also that is your role, Tshilidzi, as a rector, right? But I think that you have freedom, very large freedom to do, because that United Nations University, that only that regulation is that written in the UNU Constitution, right? And for example, now that we have few educational systems under the UNU system, but maybe you can have the capacity building for the mid-career people. I think that was done before, but now you can rethink about that to start the capacity development for the mid-career people who would like to contribute to make that world better through the UN system, or that the co-design finance that pays for performance. Or you can propose that when the UN system or that with the regional international banks to invest, so you can make some rules about that the finance that pays for the performance. So like that, likewise, you can do that the regulation system to the real capacity development, and topics can be anything about the peace and sustainability and something you like a technology.
Thank you very much. We are going to take those ideas forward. Thank you very much.
Your Majesties, distinguished guests, friends, and colleagues, on behalf of the United Nations University, I would like to thank you for joining us today for this very special event commemorating the 50th anniversary of the United Nations University. 50 years ago, in 1975, the headquarters of the United Nations University was established in Tokyo, Japan, marking the beginning of its academic and research activities. Japan demonstrated a strong determination to contribute to the international community, a commitment that played a key role in welcoming the UNU headquarters to its capital. We are especially grateful to the government and the people of Japan, whose generous and unwavering support over the past 5 decades has been instrumental in the success of UNU. No one disputes the importance of building shared values. To do so, it is essential to foster active and mutual dialogue among stakeholders and partners from diverse backgrounds and with varying immediate goals. Reaching consensus and translating that consensus into effective policies can be especially difficult or challenging given the different historical, cultural, and institutional context we operate within. Nevertheless, I am very confident that we can succeed. As we mark this important anniversary, the United Nations University reaffirmed its commitment to promoting a peaceful, just, and inclusive future. Thank you once again for sharing the moment with us. We deeply appreciate your continued support and commitment as we move forward together. Thank you.